Dear friends, welcome back to the channel. Today we'll be diving into one of Vulnhub machines, which is Neobank. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe to my channel and give this video a thumbs up. It really helps the channel grow. So now let's start our hacking way through this fantastic machine. In this video, I'll be demonstrating some new and useful techniques. For example, when we try to make brute forcing against HTTP post form, we can use Hydra. But in case the web application doesn't return any error message when we submit incorrect credentials, so how to do? How to configure Hydra properly. And also I'm going to use Python to code our own program to conduct such cracking as well. And also this machine involves two-factor authentication. And also I'd like to show you how to get this two-factor authentication done. And when you do not have Google Authenticator app on your mobile phone. Okay, so without any further ado, let's just get started. We can head over to Kali Linux. First of all, we need to discover the IP address of the target. Let's press enter. So as you can see over here, the IP address of the target could be recognized as 203. We can note down such information to our notebook. Next, we need to conduct port and safe scanning with a map. To save time of this video, I've already completed before. So now we can get out its result. So as you can see over here, I took the options like scene scan, the default script scan, the virtual scan, and also the full range port scan. The last option for all is ON to output the result into this file. So, we can retrieve scanning results whenever, okay, from this file. Although you can notice here, the IP address of the target machine has been changed since I re-imported the machine into the VirtualBox. And this time, different IP address has been assigned to our target machine. This doesn't affect our application lab. From the Nmap scanning results, we can tell that the target is running. You just have only one open port, 5000, which is running HTTP service, and also the version information. And the Python 2, is the engine to support this web application. I think we need to keep this in our minds as we proceed. Okay, and also we can note down such information to our notebook. So now we are entering the enumeration stage, and we need to, enumerate the web application manually first. Let's bring up the terminal, not the terminal, the browser first, and put the IP address of the target into the address bar of the browser. Press enter, and we are prompted by this user login form. Without any hesitation, we can check its source code, and we can scroll down. But nothing valuable we can get from this source code. And if you want, you can, test SQL injection vulnerability with this user login form. But I'd like to tell you, this application doesn't have such vulnerability at all. To save time of this video, I'd like to ignore this step, okay? So how to the next? We need to check whether this site has robots file, okay? and robots file, robots, but not found. Next, we can launch the Nicto to conduct automatic enumeration. As you know, I always use Nicto to start automatic enumeration with the web application. So as you can see over here, the banner or the version information, request header, allowed HTTP methods, but nothing exciting we can find by Nicto. Next, let's perform directory enumeration with GoBuster and dir subcommand, and we can specify the target URL, port number, and this case, usually I will use GoBuster word list, but for this machine we have to take different word list, otherwise some directories cannot be discovered. So this is very important. Okay, otherwise even we cannot go on. I'd like to use one of other word list, which is located in SecLists directory, discovery web content, and raft large directory. And also I'd like to specify of course the extension option, but I'd like to specify the threads, the number of the tasks in parallel. Okay, otherwise this application or this web application will be dead. For example, and we can set it to like 5. Of course, this will slow down such enumeration, but I do not want to flood the target machine. In that case, we need to restart the machine. Even we need to re-import the machine. Okay, let's press enter. And this is going to take a bit of while. All right, as you can see over here, GoBuster has already discovered some directories with this word list. If you have already followed my channel, you know that I also use this word list a lot. Okay, so now we can note down such information to our netbook. So the OTP. So I think OTP is short for one-time password. Okay, and also email list. We can copy. Now we need to take a look at them one by one. The first one is QR, but we are redirect to its home page. So how about OTP? Yeah, we got the same result or response from the application. So how about this one? Maybe we can use a Q command to access this directory, email list. Press enter, and we got it back. It looks like this is a JSON data, and there is one list, and this is the outer list, and each item is the list itself, but it's okay. We want to extract all emails and to set up our own word list for this email, because just now we know that we need to provide the email and its password or PIN to log in. And I'd like to copy this information, and I'd like to do some processing. For example, I'd like to find and replace square brackets, and also this one, replace all, and also I can remove double quotes as well. It's done. Now I can separate or divide them by comma. So different email can stay at or on the different lines. Okay. Okay, so it's done. We can save to our working directory. We can limit to email list. It's done. So now what we are going to do next, I'd like to make brute forcing against this user login form. And if you can open up the developer tool to got its request, for example, let's test anything and the pin login, and then we can get details of such post request. So how to, let's go back to this my main note, how to crack HTTP post form. The first way is Hydra. For me, is the most preferable way. And also we can use Burp Suite. If you have a professional edition of Burp Suite, I think Burp Suite can work very, very great. But, I have just community edition of Burp Suite. So, Burp Suite is a bit slow for me. And also we can use Python. And also we can use, for example, like some fuzzing tool. But I use Hydra most, and then Python. Okay, so how to do? And you will encounter the problem. Just now, you have already observed one thing. Whatever email and password or PIN are submitted to the application, we do not get anything back or anything different, like error message. As you know, usually when you specify the Hydra, we need to specify this F or fault message. So how to do? So in this case, I'd like to show you, different way to configure Hydra. Unlike error message, we can specify the response or the length of response when we submit incorrect credentials. Let me show you in action. So Hydra, and we can use the option of L. L one. So now the L, uppercase L, and email list, uppercase. Oh, sorry, I forgot to mention one thing. There is description of this name, hints. So I think this is some kinds of regular expression. Of course, you can use word list of Rockq, but word list of Rockq is very big, very huge. It will take very long time to conduct such attack. Okay, so instead we can, generate our own word list, and we can use the option of E, and we can put this regular expression where, here we can copy and put over here. Okay. And then word list Rockq, and save the result to like word list text. We can press enter. It's done, and we can check how many words in this word list. Still very big, but if you check the original word list, much bigger. Okay, so now we can launch the Hydra, email, and word list, and also we can specify the target IP address, port number, and next we need to configure the login page and the payload and error message. But in this case, we cannot use error message, just I mentioned. So how to do? You can get such information from the details of post or this request. So the login page would be this one, login, and then we can get its request payload. We can copy, paste over here. We need to, here we want to use placeholder user and pass. Okay, next we can specify the font. So here I think that when we submit the incorrect password, the length of the response is, we can copy, maybe I think we can copy. Okay, so now also I think we need to specify the threads. Again, for the same reason, we do not want to flood the target machine. So for example, we can, so by default, the threads, Hydra, by default, okay, by default is 16. Maybe we can set it to maybe 5, okay? Now we can press enter. Oh no, oh sorry, I forgot to specify the surface. No problem, post form, press enter again. And this will start brute force against the target application. Okay, and this will take a bit of while. So as you can see over here, the Hydra has already retrieved at least 2 sets of username and valid password. And now I think also we can note down such information to our notebook. Okay, fantastic. And now, of course, also I'm going to show you how to use Python to write our own program to perform similar attacks against this web application. Very easy. We can copy this value as Q command and go to this website to convert. Okay, so the Python code has been created just automatically, and we can copy this Python code and go to PyCharm editor, and we can name it to like post bullet and paste in here. Next, we need to do some kinds of modifications. So the header, it's fine. We do not need to change it. So next, we can loop over 2 word list with open email list with read-only mode. And the variable is F or handler, whatever, or pointer maybe. So now we can for line 1 in read lines, email would be line 1, strip, space in the end. Next, we can open another word list. Word list. This is for password. Read-only mode. We can use different name for this variable or for this file. So for line 2 in read lines method, and then password, we can strip is space. So next, we can, construct. Oh, of course, here we need to indent these 2 lines. Okay, so we can replace this one by email. And similarly, pin field is password. Okay, that's it. Next, we can check to see whether the length of response equals to 1783. If not equals to, it means that we have already found a valid email and password. So we can print out something like found. We can use formatted string, found email and pin. Okay. So email, password. I do not want to retrieve all email and password because I do not want to flood the web application. Okay, so I think we can import another module, sys module. So when found valid email and pin, we do not need to go ahead anymore, right? So can exit from the program, save. Now let's bring up the terminal window to run our program. Post, let's press enter. As you can see, we successfully found valid email and pin. So then we can log in with these credentials to the target. Okay, so now let me close up this developer 2 and we can copy the email from notebook and the password and login. However, we are required to provide OTP. So where to get OTP? Earlier, we have already found this directory. What's that? QR. QR code. So then we can maybe... Now I saved this QR code image and then upload this image to this website or any other similar online service. And then we can get its content. We can copy the results, especially this secret we can copy. We cannot use this secret directly. We need to get, the, OTP number. So how to do? We can, in case you do not have Google Authenticator app, we can use this tool, and so we can. Sorry. So not. Yeah, this one. Maybe we can copy from here. Okay, press enter. Of course, this is the, the package which you need to install. But the installation itself is very simple. You can use any package manager like apt to install it. So here we got the OTP number and supply here, verify. As you can see, we are successfully logged in to the web application. So now we need to understand what's going on here. Here it's saying your account balance is 400. Enter the amount you want to withdraw, like 100, submit. Now is negative 300, a bit weird. So I think now we can use Burp Suite to, to analyze the behavior of the web application when we submit different payload. Proxy, and we can, for example, like 50, submit, and we can send this request to repeater module. I think here we can do some manipulation, for example, to see whether this field is vulnerable to SQL injection. Send encountered internal error. So next we can check whether there is command injection, but we encounter the same problem. We just, at the beginning, we know that the target or this application is running Python. Next, we can check whether we can run or inject Python command. Import OS module and system. Send. We got something different, right? I think we got the result. So what are we going to next? We need to try to get the reverse shell command, a reverse shell on the target, and we can set up the listener on the Kali Linux, waiting for collection from the target. Now we can change this command to reverse shell command, like netcat port number, send. As you can see, we successfully get the collection from the target. Fantastic. Now we can spawn interactive shell by Python. Python 2 is there. Import pty module, pty spawn. Next, of course, also we can define the term variable. Then we can clear screen when necessary. And so we can cut out the main. So here, from this file, we can get something like the database collection credential. So I think we can copy and paste over here. Now I think we can exceed. Oh no, we can go to home directory and there is one normal user banker. So now we can check whether this password is reused here. So we can use switch banker and paste in here, but not working. Next, we can try to, connect to the database. And we can show databases. We can use bank database, show tables, and we can select from use account. So all emails and it's encrypted and their encrypted password. And next we can try to dump data from this table. We find another password. Great. So now we can try to switch or make a lateral movement to another user, banker, and we can copy its password. Great. So now we can get the user flag. Next, we can run sudo. Oh, we can utilize the apt get to elevate privilege. And we can get the help from this website. Okay, so we just follow the instructions, what you are seeing here. Control-C and paste over here. And now we can run. Okay, as you can see, we have already become root user. And navigate to root directory. And then we can grab the final flag. Beautiful. So I think that's pretty much it. I'd like to see you next. Bye. Have a good day. Please.